Here's your weather video for this Saturday. It's the 30th of March. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and March appears to be getting ready to go out like a lamb, like it's supposed to. Unlike it was on this date in 1962, when a rash of severe weather affected north and central Alabama with lots of hail, damaging winds. Following morning, a tornado hit Milton, Florida. Deadliest tornado ever in northwest Florida. 17 people died on that fateful morning. But that activity back in 1962 is a long way away. A lot of our focus now turning to the eclipse on Monday the 8th and whether it will be cloudy. Of course, the path of totality comes out of Mexico, across South Texas, Texas Hill Country, up to near Dallas, around Texarkana, through central Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, up through southern Illinois, Indiana. It passes near Cleveland, and then moves out through upstate New York and around St. Albans, Vermont. The colder colors here off the European ensemble indicate the lowest probability that cloud cover will be over 50% that day, which is kind of important to seeing the beauty of a total eclipse of the sun. Now, that does not look like a good proposition across Texas, perhaps up in Arkansas, even though some of the GFS deterministic stuff looks a little better in Arkansas, Missouri. Certainly looks like our best chances are going to be in the Northeast, perhaps Cleveland, certainly Buffalo, up into upstate New York and around Vermont. So if you're lucky enough to be able to go to those places, hotel rooms are still running about $1,000 a night, and most of the transportation is now sold out into those areas. So it's one of those things you try to plan in advance for, but it's hard to do when the weather is not cooperative. This is the upper pattern across North America. Late on this Friday evening, as I record this just before midnight. This is the projections for early Saturday morning, showing a ridge of high pressure in the upper atmosphere across the southern United States, from southern southwestern Texas all the way through Alabama into Florida. That ridge will stay in place through Monday, but begin to weaken a bit as this system off the Pacific coast begins to move our way and pushes a cold front towards us in Alabama. These temperatures off the national blend of models for your Saturday morning lows, showing 40s across the area, a few of the normally warmer locations around 50. And high temperatures for your Saturday with a good supply of sunshine are going to be in the middle 70s up in North Alabama, middle to upper 70s across central Alabama. As you go through time, the Sunday highs are going to be even warmer. Lots of folks will get into the 80s, the only exception probably being the Tennessee Valley on Sunday. And then as we ring in April on Monday, high temperatures, most areas are going to reach 80. Some spots will get to near 85 or 86 degrees. Places like Montgomery and Troy in south central Alabama. Things will cool down, though, after a front on Tuesday. This is the GFS, our model of choice. They're going to use the 18Z run here, showing a ridge of high pressure at the surface, extending from Alabama and Georgia back across the Florida Peninsula into the western Atlantic. As we go through the day today, nothing to affect our weather. Warm front lifting to our north there through the Ohio Valley. It won't affect us here in Alabama. By tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures again probably in the 50s tomorrow morning, with that southerly breeze beginning to bring in that Gulf warmth and moisture. So Sunday morning lows probably in the 50s. If you have an Easter sunrise service, it should be nearly perfect. The day, of course, promising to be warm and dry. Monday, more of the same, partly cloudy skies. The ring of fire protecting us here in Alabama. Showers and thunderstorms will extend from Oklahoma and Kansas through northern Missouri and then straight over through the Ohio Valley. But here in Alabama on Monday, we're going to remain dry. Low pressure moves into northwestern Missouri here Monday night. It'll be beginning to strengthen slowly. Central pressure there about 993 millibars by Tuesday, late Monday night into early Tuesday morning, but the system begins to fill, producing some heavy snows, though, from southern Wisconsin back across Iowa as that system approaches the Chicagoland. A few showers breaking out western Tennessee, northern Mississippi by Tuesday morning. They'll move into northwestern Alabama during the morning hours on Tuesday. Not expecting anything severe early, even though the Weather Service's outlook earlier indicated that the greater threat would be to North Alabama, with a lesser threat for Central Alabama. But I think that may be changing, especially if these model trends are borne out. Here we're into Tuesday afternoon, between noon, really 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, showing showers and thunderstorms in the I-59 corridor. We do have some instability at that point, so we'll have to watch to see if there's any chance that those storms could be severe. And taking a peek at a sounding, this would be at 4 o'clock or 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Tuesday afternoon, choosing a location there southeast of Birmingham. It does have a severe weather look with a long curved photograph, some decent instability, forecast about 1,400 joules there. The effective shear, about 55 knots. That's plenty sufficient. And the low level helicity, which would be a concern, pretty decent. 200 meters squared per second squared. The sounding output says tornado. I don't really think that's going to be a big threat, but it's something we'll have to watch. Certainly, damaging winds will be a potential problem with the system. Now, it moves on out pretty quickly. And it's generally out of here by Wednesday morning. We're calling for dry conditions, much cooler, cold air advection occurring. Temperatures Wednesday morning in the 40s. A lot of locations may not get above 60 in North Alabama during the day on Wednesday, with a chilly northwesterly breeze gusting at times to about 20 miles an hour. Now, we'll watch for the chance of frost by Thursday morning. Fairly decent radiational cooling sets in. Overnight lows are going to range between about 35 and 42. Some of those normally colder locations in North Alabama, those protected valleys, could see some light frost. We'll watch for that very carefully. Probably again Friday morning, too. High temperatures on Thursday will be in the 60s, but we'll be back in those same areas for the lows by Friday morning, middle, upper 30s. Lower 40s across central Alabama. Now, the good news is the weekend looks dry and a warm-up begins. We'll be back in the 70s by Saturday morning, continuing to be dry. And as we get into Sunday, most folks should see middle and upper 70s. Lows both mornings will be in the 40s. Let's go out into the week 2 period here. We've had an extended period of dry weather from this system Tuesday night all the way for the next 7 days after that and beyond. Next system starts to take shape there by Wednesday the 10th. Low pressure centered over north central Oklahoma. Not really a very strong low, but a cold front trailing back through the Arklamis area into the Arklatex with some showers and thunderstorms, and there'll be some decent instability, especially that Thursday during the afternoon and evening as that system sort of limps into Alabama. It looks like it might be falling apart. That ridge to the east is holding very strong, but we'll have to watch for the chance of severe weather on that Thursday afternoon and evening, the 11th. System moves on out. Looks like another nice weekend falling behind it. Kind of a clipper system moving through the Great Lakes there on Saturday the 13th. And moving out to the end of the period, Sunday the 14th, we're dry here in Alabama. Now, I don't think, let's see, yes I did. Here's temperatures off the National Blend of Models. Kind of nailing it down, looking for some really warm conditions, especially on Easter Sunday and Monday. Perhaps continuing into Tuesday. Then temperatures fall off the cliff a bit as we head toward Wednesday, and they make a slow march back toward the 70s and get us into some warm and enjoyable conditions again by Monday the 8th and Tuesday the 9th. Overnight lows we'll be watching really closely for the chance of frost, especially Thursday morning and Friday morning, perhaps even Saturday morning. We'll have to keep an eye on that just in case it becomes a problem for us here in central Alabama, as we just can't get the cold air to leave. Weather Brains, the weekly netcast that's all about weather. We had a really spectacular show this week. You can go and grab it wherever you get your podcasts. Go to weatherbrains.com, watch it live, or watch really the recorded version, youtube.com/weatherbrains. We had I guess a what would it be? A group of four. A group of four experts talking about the April 3rd, 1974 tornado outbreak, mainly from a technical standpoint. The behind the scenes, what was going on, the changes that came out of it. But this week we're going to turn our focus to the victims. Those victims from Alabama to Ohio. Of course, on that day, 148 tornadoes struck 14 states across the U.S. Alabama, one of the hardest hit states, with 82 fatalities that night. And as Steve Corfidi, retired from the SPC, said, it just was an amazing outbreak from the fact that we had an unperturbed warm sector all day. Really enough energy to power 4 severe weather outbreaks. So really it was 4 outbreaks in one. You won't want to miss going back and hearing that episode of the show, and you certainly won't want to miss the show that we record live Monday night at 7. You can pick it up on the James Spann 24/7 channels on some of the cable systems. You can pick it out over the air if you have an antenna, and of course you can watch live at youtube.com/weatherbrains, or if you wait till Tuesday morning, you can pick it up wherever you get your podcast. Well, that's your weather video for this Saturday, the 30th of March. I'll have notes on the blog, a complete update on the forecast coming up at noon. I'll continue to keep an eye on the weather through the day, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow. We'll do this again for the 31st of March, about this same time, late tomorrow night, early Sunday morning. And until I get that chance to see you again tomorrow, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky, because you're always going to have something fun to look at.